All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is part 3 of Ask the King, episode 77 for July 25th, 2019. If you're watching this on YouTube and you have not seen the first 2 parts, they should already be live right here on this very channel. If you're watching this on stream, welcome back from break. It's time to basically answer Twitter questions and then completely open up the show to stream questions. Sound good? So the first thing, let's go ahead and do shout-outs to my patrons. These are people who are ongoing supporters on Patreon, and I like to give them a shout out when I do this one remaining vlogging show that I actually do. So shout out to the following supporters. We've got X86, Uncommon Sense, Villix, Fallen 1570, Big Tone 995, Infinite 55, Casey Wood, Planet Jeff, Thomas McDonald, Sean Given, Last Rambo 341, QPZMWN, David Denmark, Relique, Stormforce Gamer, Richie7, Show Krayos, Steve Slater 007, and Michael Denault. Thank you all for your ongoing support. It is much appreciated. All right. It is now time for Twitter questions. I'll be honest, I didn't take too many. I think I did like 5 or 6 questions from Twitter this time around. So we'll see how long it takes. And like I said, this is the last segment. We'll have a little bit of time for interaction here with the stream chatters to see what they have to ask for this time around, okay? All right. Are you ready? All right, here we go. So the first question from Movie Lord 101. He says, thoughts on the new Call of Duty going back to basics with the campaign and the multiplayer? I personally think it's good if they live up to their promises of it actually playing like a classic throwback Call of Duty, because I really feel that Modern Warfare 1 was the best one out of all of the Call of Duties. The problem is, are they actually going to live up to their promises, or are they just blowing smoke up our butts? The reason I say that is because, as you know, the past 5-6 years, Call of Duty has consistently degraded into something with double jumping, wall running, gimmicky kill streak, gimmicky player ability with a class that has magic walls with magic magnetic ability, or, you know, the stupid war machine, grenade launcher, and shit like that. And what you've done by changing the franchise over the years is you've turned Call of Duty into a more gimmicky game that isn't really based on just pure FPS quality and skill anymore. It's about finding abusive ways to use these stupid gadgets and gizmos and weird-ass parkour abilities to your advantage to win. And now you got kids who just, the kangaroo hop is like the staple thing they do in FPS games. Oh, I don't want to get shot, so I hop around like an asshole. Like, because they learned the bad habits from Call of Duty. It's hilarious because just earlier this year, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered was the free for PS Plus game 1 month. And I played it for about that month. And so many idiots who just don't understand how to play first-person shooters and only played the more modern Call of Duty jumping the bunny hop, right? If you call it the kangaroo hop or the bunny hop, they think they could just jump around and dodge bullets. In reality, in those games, it doesn't work, because when you do it in those games, you can't fire your gun. So they're jumping around and can't get away, and they're dead, you know? So, if they actually live up to their promises that this will be a more hardcore original Call of Duty, for people like me who've played every Call of Duty, who've been around the block, and who loved the old school gameplay from back in the day and hated how the franchise modernized for the kiddie audiences, I think it's a great thing. The question is, what's going to happen if they did? Because if they actually did change it back to the old school gameplay, all those kids who've been playing it for years can't play it anymore, because they learned all these they don't actually know how to play a first-person shooter. You know, they didn't grow up during the era of when all of those were on PC, and that was the way to play. So they don't even understand, like, the main gameplay mechanics. All they know is how to find a gimmick and abuse it. So I'd be very interested to see what happens with this game. I would almost guarantee they're full of shit. That it's going to still have quick scoping. It's going to have all the bullshit that shouldn't be in the fucking game is still going to be in it. Because they can't. If they abandon that audience that they built for the last 6 years, who's going to buy their games? So I really feel that it's kind of like, it's going to still be there in one shape or form. Maybe I'm wrong. The other thing is, if I am wrong, okay, and if I actually, if they actually make it like an old school game, will it sell? Because now you're basically, you're isolating that audience that you trained to have a certain style of game for 6 years, and now you're telling them, oh, we're going back to it. They might be pissed off and hate the game. See? So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But I personally hope they do adhere to it being a more classic game. That's what I like. Okay. Okay, the Eternal Boomer asked the following: When will you start to turn back on your? When will you start to turn back your comment sec? You didn't word it properly, and so even I can't read it. Let's try this again. When will you turn your comment section back on over on your YouTube channel? I completely reworded his statement, but that's what he was saying. Okay. Excuse me. Quite frankly, probably never. All right. I think the only way that I would even consider it is if they make it a way to basically make it like Twitch, where you can moderate it extensively for certain words and certain criteria. For those who don't know, the reason that I turned my comment section off in 2017, so 2 years ago now, was because it had gotten so disgusting that no one who actually liked my content wanted to ever read a comment. Like, you would watch a video, wow, this is great. I want to see what people are talking about on it. Oh, fuck Phil, gouty, dick farts, this guy did this, pedophile, masturbated on stream, blah, blah. Like, the whole comment section would just be insulting, nasty shit that had nothing whatsoever to do with the content. I know people are laughing. It had nothing whatsoever to do with the content of the video. So fans of mine would come watch the video. Oh, I want to see, what the hell is this? Now, why was that? That's because there was a time when the This Is How You Don't Play videos and everything on YouTube were much more popular than they are now. And so what people would do is they would have highlights in those videos. Oh, this is how you don't play Bloodborne. Then they would go to the comments and take the nastiest comments out and put them in the video. So people would now purposely just inundate any video I put out with disgusting comments for a chance maybe they'll get a shout out or some notoriety in a hater video. So it had nothing to do with me. It was them just trying to get attention for themselves because they were no-life fucking losers. But it literally destroyed my comment section on every video I ever published and ruined that part of my business. So it got to the point where fans begged me to turn off the comment section because it was so filthy. And the thing is, I wasn't going to sit there every time I upload a video and sit there and micromanage comments for days. You know what I mean? It's fucking waste of time. So it was either turn them off or just have it be complete useless filth from then on. And I said, fuck it, turn it off. And the truth of the matter is, it didn't really hurt anything. To be honest, it didn't. People would argue, oh, your views went down. Here's the thing. My views went down when I made longer videos in the last year. They didn't go down when I turned the comments off at all. The views stayed the same. It wasn't until I made a distinctive change to the video content itself by making it more long form that the views went down. So in reality, it had no negative effect at all. Most people tell me they don't care about the comments because they know that why I turned them off. You know what I mean? It sucks. I do feel that a good, funny, or intelligent YouTube comment, strings can actually add significant amount of interaction to a video, but there's nothing I can do about it. I wasn't gonna have it be all nasty filth. Now the other thing is, people are like, well, that hurts the engagement of your videos. It's wrong, because as long as people watch the video and then a lot of people will either like or dislike, that's considered engagement. Yes, absolutely, the comments are added engagement, but it didn't really help anything anyway. So it didn't really hurt me to turn them off. I feel if I turn them back on, all that will happen is you'll re-invite those people back and bring a whole new negative wave of attention to the video, so I don't really care. Okay. Okay. Next question from Halloween Lover. They asked, what's your favorite Sonic game ever? I would definitely say Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That was the one that I grew up with. That was the one that I had on my Sega Genesis. It came with my Genesis when I bought it. And I played the living shit out of it to the point where I could beat the final bosses without ever getting hit. Almost like speed run. Seriously, like I could just speed run the games and found ways to get through them like super fast and everything. I think I had it down to like 20 minutes where I could beat the game in 20 minutes or something like that. But as an outstanding soundtrack, great level design. That was the first one with Tails in it. I do like future Sonic games. Sonic Adventure stands out in my mind, even though it's a very dated game today. I really like that one. Sonic Generations and Sonic Mania, two outstanding Sonic games in my opinion. But I think Sonic 2 will always hold that place in my heart as like the quintessential Sonic game for me. Okay. PW Dubs cheered. He said, did any streamers inspire you to start streaming? You were the first to do it. Was there anyone before you that you liked? Well, I was not the first person to stream. And I certainly wasn't even the first person to make a playthrough or a let's play. But But no one inspired me to make content like that. I was inspired by the Angry Video Game Nerd, and then I decided to make videos that were long form playthroughs with that kind of irreverent commentary style over it. But it wasn't like, no, there wasn't another content creator or streamer on YouTube or Twitch that I was watching actively, and that was the person I was trying to emulate or I was inspired by. No, nothing like that. Bryce asked the following: what is your favorite part of being a streamer? I would say there's various things that are very good. All right, the first is being the master of my own destiny. What I mean by that is, with every other job I've had in my life, I was always at the mercy of a boss who, whether they liked me or not, whether one day I'm in favor, the next day I'm not for some reason, or a corporation treating me like an asset rather than a human being. You know what I mean? Like, never before I did this for a living did I ever feel like I was valued. I hate to say that, but I'm true. Like, on every job, whether it was a retail job, fast food, office job, all the jobs I've had over the years, I never felt like I was a valued employee. I felt more like I was just a cog in a bigger machine to make money for some nameless bigwigs at the top of a fucking food chain somewhere, and to pay off the bottom line of the investors and the shareholders. I never actually felt like I was someone who was actually being appreciated at a job that I had. At this job, I feel that every day. When you guys come out and hang out with me and we have fun interactions, when people tell me on a daily basis how meaningful what I do is and that I've changed their lives, and it's very positive stuff that I do for everybody. And in addition, the fact that you guys are so supportive, so many hurdles and things that I've come up against, and you guys come out to support me and help me to continue to be successful, even though I've really had my back to the wall recently with a lot of things. I'm still here, you know what I mean? And, it's tough. Other jobs I've had, when you're down and out, you're down and out. In this job, it's like you guys keep helping me bounce back. I love it. Also, the fact that I control what I do during the day. For example, another job, go sell computers and warranties. Go, do customer service for helicopter parts. Go sell mortgages or whatever. Okay, fucking boring. Here, I get to, we're going to play this game today, and we're going to do a variety of games today, and I'm going to try to appeal to a different audience, have people I know who I hang out with every day, because I control what I play. You see what I mean? I control the things I do during the day. I didn't have that ability back when I had my other jobs. So that's what I would say. And of course, my constant interactivity with my audience, there's a big difference between you are someone who is interacting with a customer versus a streamer who interacts with the viewing audience. Streamer who interacts with the viewing audience, it's a more casual relationship where we just have fun together, while those other things were business transaction relationships. I didn't have fun with a customer who came into Circuit City to buy a PC setup. You see what I mean? I have fun with you guys every friggin' day. Pretty awesome. Okay. I received an anonymous $1 tip. Someone says, I agree with you. You should keep the comments off. Your content is really enjoyable to listen to and watch without those idiots in the comment section. Also, would you consider a pattern tier for once a month or so reviews or watch along for wrestling? Would you consider a pattern tier for once a month or so reviews or watch along for wrestling? I think what he's saying is what I consider a tier for like subscriptions or Patreon, that once a month I would do game reviews or do like a wrestling watch along where I would watch wrestling and then commentate on it or do a show afterward. That's what I think they're saying, okay? Quite frankly, I don't think Patreon tiers really matter anymore. I think that since my focus became live streaming, the Patreon is kind of an afterthought. Like, the Patreon is there, and yes, there are ongoing perks that you can get, and there are good perks in certain situations, and, I do appreciate those who contribute, but I think most people have migrated from Patreon over to contributing on the streams. So I think setting up Patreon tiers at this point is a moot point. If anything, I would do a sub goal or something here on a stream. Once a month or so reviews, I don't even think that would work. The reason I say that is because, number one, there's not even enough games to review once a month anymore. I'm serious. There's not even enough high-profile games worthy of me reviewing them once a month anymore. I couldn't even tell you in the last month a game that was worth reviewing. Just being honest. Outside of that, The wrestling thing, I just don't care about anymore. Like, I watch wrestling casually. I'm a casual wrestling fan. When I get a chance to watch wrestling, I do. But I don't worry myself over, oh no, I didn't get to watch every wrestling show. Or, oh no, I have to watch the wrestling so I can do a commentary show for it this week. I just don't care. I just watch it as a fun, casual entertainment. And because of that, I don't really care so much about it anymore. I think I actually get more out of it. I think because I don't care about the outcome of matches, I don't care about what's going to be on the show this week, I actually don't mind just watching it casually and having fun with it. I think it actually makes it more fun in that regard. Rather than it being a part of my job now to review it, now I gotta take it more seriously and be critical of it and yada yada, and I enjoy not having to do that, so. Okay. Shout out to Joshua. Joshua says, do you think it's generally a bad idea to switch career paths if a person feels burnt out? What do you do to reignite passion in a career or personal life? That's a tough question that I really can't answer because it's subjective. It depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you have the ability to control and change. Some people just don't have that. You have a career path at a job. You're there. Good luck. Unless you quit the job and start over somewhere, how are you going to change what you do? You see what I mean? And that's always insanely risky to make a change like that. For me, I have to admit, again, for the second time in my life, I was incredibly lucky. Because I was very lucky, first of all, when I started on YouTube in 2008. This was the formative years of YouTube where it was becoming this place where people could come to put out fun and interactive content. And it was a place where you could do it for free. And it was a place that didn't have someone like me on it. So I was right place, right time to make the content that I did. And then eventually I was able to blow up and turn it into a living. Then in 2017, when the YouTube ad bubble burst, I was able to transition from being a YouTuber to a full-time interactive streamer. And again, it was organic. It was like, wow, this is the next logical step for what Phil does. It's different. It's interesting. It's more hip and more fresh than just making content and ignoring an audience. Instead, you're interacting with them. People liked the change that I made. So I say twice in my lifetime, in the past 10, 11 years, I've been right place, right time, which is pretty damned awesome. But not everyone has that opportunity. You know what I mean? What if your whole life you've been a lawyer? And all of a sudden at the age of 45, you realize you hate doing this and you don't want to do it anymore. How do you start a no career over at 45, you know? Go back to school. Now you think someone's going to hire a 45-year-old for a new job at that? You know what I mean? Like, it's tough, man. So quite frankly, I can't really answer your question. I can only speak to my own personal situations where I could say it made sense to make these career path kind of shifts and changes when I've done them, but I've been lucky. I'm a very lucky guy. It's certainly not like this for a lot of people out there, okay? Certainly don't take my life experience and situation as, oh, this is exactly how it'll work for you too. Because I was in a unique situation, unique time frame, everything, culture, everything was different. And, you know, now things are in a different situation. So please don't listen, especially these, oh, I watch my favorite YouTuber, my favorite streamer, I'm going to make it big like them. Don't count on it. I'm not saying don't reach for the stars and try to chase your dreams, but I'm saying don't count on it because my situation is nowhere near a common one, okay? Oh, let's see here. Knows Nobody did 100-bit cheers. What's your favorite handheld console of all time? Of all time? Probably either the Game Boy Advance or the original DS, because that was the one I played a lot of different stuff on that, including classic RPGs, other kind of games. Those would probably be my favorites, I would say. Okay, last question from Twitter is from Fernando Sandoval, and he asked the following. I noticed that you know some words in Spanish. Did you study Spanish or travel to Latin America? Have you tried other Latin foods besides Mexican food? I'm from El Salvador, a small country in Latin America. I like to see your videos to practice my English. Well, in high school, I studied 2 languages. I took Spanish for, I want to say 2 years, if not 3, I can't remember. And Latin. I studied Latin for 2 to 3 years as well in high school. And I will tell you, Latin, when I was studying Latin, I thought, this is the most worthless thing. I don't need this. This is a waste of time. It's a dead language. It's not even spoken. Dude, studying Latin taught me so much. I'm serious. It's helped me out so much in my life because it lets you see the roots of certain words and figure out what they mean. There have been times when I have no idea what a word means, but I recognize a part of it. I say, that means something, and that's going to give me a general idea of what a certain word is, okay? See what I mean? So there you go. That being said, no, I never really formally studied Spanish or anything like that. I cannot speak a Spanish, but I can recognize many words in Spanish because of those roots that I learned in Latin, and also because I studied Spanish for 2 or 3 years. In fact, what I would say is I'm much better at understanding spoken Spanish than speaking it. I can't speak it to save my life, but when someone speaks it, I can understand it. Okay? So that's good. That's a good thing. But no, I've never been to Latin America. Never. And I also have never had any Spanish food outside of, like, Mexican food. I think the closest, I think I did have Cuban food. And what was the other one? I had a friend, and God, what was it? No, it wasn't Ecuadorian. It wasn't Brazilian. Oh man, why can't I remember what it was? I can't remember. I know there was, basically in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where I used to live, there was a hotbed for a certain Latin group of people. I can't remember who they were. And they had their own, like, 1 or 2, like, restaurants where they would make their own authentic stuff, and he would bring some stuff. And I tried it before, like sandwiches and stuff. I thought it was good. They make this fried thing. Oh, God. Well, I know fried plantains was a big one. Like, fried plantains was a big thing that they were serving. And then they had these, like, these fried triangles. Deep fried triangles that had, like, meat. Empanada. What's an empanada from? Was that Cuban? Cuban empanadas? It is Cuban food, then. If empanada is Cuban, then that's Cuban. That's what I ate. Yeah, Cuban food. And it's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, very good. But it seemed like it was very high grease and fat. But what I ate, I loved. I thought it was crazy tasty. So I was like, man, this food is, like, delicious. But I was like, damn, I can't eat this all the time, man. But it was good. Okay, shout out to the what? I don't even know what this means. But anyway, someone tipped me $1 and says, did a deep search. You're officially listed as a male entertainer in the porn industry. Doesn't have anything to do with anything. Just because some idiot listed me on a site as something doesn't mean the truth. People have listed me everywhere for everything. They've listed me, that I'm a pedophile. They said all this stupid shit. None of it's true. Okay? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, now I will open up, oh, here we go. Geodude says Argentina and Peruvians are also famous for empanadas. Maybe it could have been that then. Maybe it was Peruvian. It might have been Peruvian food. Alright, so now I'm going to open up the stream for the next 20 minutes or so to stream chatter questions. This means if you cheer, sub, or tip, you'll get priority, obviously. But if you just want to ask me a question in the stream chat, I'll field these questions to end the show. Have I been to the Foxwood Casino in Connecticut? Yeah, I already talked about that earlier, Sir Citizen Unknown. I said I've been to Foxwoods and to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Have I ever considered playing PC games on my TV? No, because my PC needs to still capture and stream while playing, and it can't do that. So, no, I don't do that. I used to do that when I used to just do things for YouTube and I didn't stream. I would have a camera in front of my TV, and my PC would be hooked to my TV, and I would play PC games on my TV. But now that my PC has to both capture, stream, and play the game, I can't do that anymore. Okay. Do I get offended by the word moist? No, and I don't know why I would. I don't know what you're talking about. Where'd you get that hat? Short story, well, a long story short, I went to Tennessee for a Street Fighter tournament, and while I was there, I walked down the big major road in Tennessee where they have all the famous bars and things, and I went to an actual cowboy store where they had hats, boots, chaps, everything, the whole 9 yards, and I bought the hat while I was there, had it shipped back home to Connecticut, and I wore it in my Aztec King videos ever since I got it. So there you go. All right, Reality tipped me $1 and just insulted me blatantly, so I'm just going to ignore what they said, but thank you for the $1, stupid. Very nice. Let's see here. Id the Boss King said, why do you think people hate me so much? You'd have to ask them. It's like a surprise, says I may be totally ignorant about the whole thing, but I scrolled off the screen. Sorry, man. Do I think that my stream would be more popular if it were more open to viewer suggestions instead of staying in the same formats for long periods? Well, here's the thing. I am open to viewer suggestions, and in fact, a lot of the things that I do are based on viewer suggestions. All the interactive streaming I've done this year is based on viewer suggestions. A lot of the games that I checked out this year, for example, A Plague Tale, game I never would have touched otherwise, viewer suggestions, right? So I do, but I don't know exactly what you mean. The things that the viewers are suggesting have nothing to do with my content. Phil, eat on stream. Do an ASMR stream. Go do IRL streaming. I don't want to do that. That's not my content. You're asking me to leave what I'm doing as a content creator and do completely other things. That'd be like asking a carpenter to go fucking start playing the flute. I'm not going to do it, okay? What's the best console game of this generation? I think that was that Cam Jersey that asked that. I missed it. His name scrolled off the screen. Of this console generation, overall the best game? I mean, fuck. That's a very tough question. Games that I would say definitely stand out there would be like Bloodborne, God of War, Dragon Quest XI. Dragon Quest XI is probably my favorite RPG of this generation by far. Bloodborne's probably my favorite From Software game of this generation, and God of War probably my favorite kind of action hybrid game of this generation. So more than likely that's almost I would say my top 3. Seriously. Ben Tatership cheered 100 bits. Said, can you tell the story of the Alienware M11X? No. I don't even remember. What is the M11X? Was that one of my models of Alienware? I don't remember. Sorry, Ben Tater. Yo to me $1 and said, why do I revert to the phrase, I don't know what you're talking about when you're backed into a corner? Probably because I have no idea what they're talking about. There's a difference between being backed into a corner and not having anything to say versus actually having no actual idea what the fuck someone's talking about. Like, for example, the M11X, I don't know what that is. Is that one of my models of Alienware laptop? Is that something else? I have no idea what he's talking about, so that's why I say that. Just because you're stupid and think that I'm backed into a corner and don't want to actually say something about something that I know about doesn't mean it's the truth. It just means that you assume something because you're stupid. And when you assume something, you make an ass out of yourself. Alrighty then. Dude Frozen says, what game is it that I announced that I'm most excited for in this year? Hold on. Let me look at my calendar. Oh, let's see. We got Madden, Oninaki, Man of Medan, Blair Witch, Control, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Borderlands 3, Gears 5, Daemon X Machina, Contra, Code Vein, NHL, Link's Awakening, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Outer World, Death Stranding, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Doom Eternal. Oh, man. Okay. Alright. I don't have one. I have a few. I would say, looking at what I just saw, Link's Awakening, which I never played before, modern remake of that. Outer Worlds, the new game from the makers of Fallout New Vegas. Death Stranding, for sure. We've all been waiting for that for a million years. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order looks really good. And probably Doom Eternal. Those are probably the ones. Close behind there would be Shenmue 3, but I don't know if Shenmue 3 is going to be any good. But that's what I would say. Oh, and another close behind there, Man of Medan, from the makers of Until Dawn. Until Dawn was such an amazingly great, fun experience to stream, so I can't wait to do that one. There you go. Kanji Monster says, is there a company you'd really like a sponsorship from? Quite frankly, I would like a sponsorship from a company that it's something that I support. So, for example, if Mio, the energy, stuff, flavoring that I put into my waters, wanted to sponsor me because I love Mio, I would say absolutely, I would love a sponsorship from them. You know what I mean? Or if a game company, like these sponsored streams that were available on Twitch for like 2 months for me until they got completely shut out last October, that was fun because I'm playing a game, I'm enjoying it, and then I get to share that with everyone, and it's like promotion for the game. You know what I mean? That I liked. But I'm not a guy that would just, a sponsorship out of nowhere that has nothing to do with anything that I'll ever do. I'm not like that. I wouldn't just take that on to make money. It would have to be something that I support, okay? Nightwing 420 did 100-bit cheers. Can I sponsor a DSP Tries at Wendy's Chili? No, because I know what it's like, and I hate fucking Wendy's Chili. Plus, I don't do DSP Tries it anymore. So there you go. Dude Frozen says, are you aware there's a co-op element in Man of Medan where you can play one character and another player can play another one? You're making choices at the same time. No, I didn't even know that. That's the first I heard of it. That's interesting. Huh. Why didn't you ask, would I ever join an esports team? but they have to pay you a lot to return to be a professional fighting game player. No one would want me as an esports guy. Dude, first of all, I'm 37 years old. My hand-eye coordination and reactions are much slower than they were when I was younger. Why would you want me on your esports team? You know what I mean? And number two, I'm not dedicated enough to do it. I'm not. I hate the grind of being a pro player in fighting games. I wouldn't want to do it. No one's going to ever do that. No, excuse me. I do not have any Pokemon cards. No, I would not consider playing the entire SOCOM series for downtime. No, Awful Waffle, you are not a dumb idiot. Would you consider playing simulator games like Goat Simulator, Farm Simulator, Job Simulator, or Euro Truck Simulator? I already played Goat Simulator and Job Simulator. I've already played those games. The other ones, Farm Simulator, probably not. It sounds pretty boring. It would have to be something that at least has some interest. Even if it's for a chill stream, it would have to be something that garners some kind of interest. So, PW Dubs cheered 50 bits. It says, what's the longest continuous stream you've ever done? The longest was that marathon that I did a couple months ago. What was it, April? I think, or the right before April, March. And that was what? That was a straight 10 to 12 hours, right? I think it was 10 to 10. So that would be the longest stream I've ever done. Baba Goosh tipped me $1. So can you collab with Hungry Man Dinners and make a meal called DSP Mafioso sauce with bacon, cheese, meatballs? Sell it in the freeze aisle for a limited time for $10.99 each. What the hell is that guy talking about? I have no idea, but that's $1 tip, so thank you, I guess. Let's see. If money was no object and you had unlimited wealth, what would be the first thing you would be excited to buy? Excited to buy? The first thing I would be excited to buy. See, for me, I'd be more excited to pay off my debts than to buy something new. I'm serious. I like everything I have, and I pretty much have everything I need to get by. So for me, it would be like, just pay off the debts, not buy something new. Yeah, I don't really have a better answer for that. I don't. How much did I enjoy my old job back in CT? I don't know if you mean my old office job or when I did this for a living in CT. You'd have to clarify. A game I played that I would like to play again. So a playthrough that I've done once, I would like to go back and play again. Final Fantasy VI. I just mentioned this a few weeks ago. I've got the craving because Kat and I were listening to the classic Final Fantasy soundtracks on Spotify. And I was like, damn, I really want to play Final Fantasy VI again. And this would be different because before it was an offline playthrough. Now it could be an online interactive playthrough. And I think it would be a lot better. I think I'm going to be doing that too. Hank Hill tipped me $1 and said, love your content. Did you clean up after you finished rubbing your PP on stream? I didn't see it. Oh yeah, I thoroughly cleaned up. What I did, I got a fire hose, and then I got some lye. And, I mean, what a stupid question. What an asshole. You're an asshole. But thanks for the $1 tip anyway, asshole. PW Dubs cheered. He says, been to any Marines or Seahawks games? Mariners or Seahawks games? No. Since I've moved here, I have not gone to a single sports game. No. It would be easy to do so, but no. Do I think I benefit off the detractors as much as they benefit off of me? Nope. My benefit is minuscule. Compared to what they get, I get almost nothing positive out of it. There's a difference between positive and negative exposure. Yeah, I may get more views because of them, but at the same time, that's not views that are helping or sustaining me at all. It's very frivolous stuff, and it's people here to derail shit versus having positive people come in to watch my stuff, so. Awful Waffle did 100-bit cheers. Says this cheers towards the Final Fantasy VI stream. Dude, I really want to play it. I love that game. It's my favorite RPG, and I played it once ages ago. I would love to go back and do a real playthrough of it, direct capture, with stream interaction. It would be amazing. I have no idea. Cookie Monster says, what's the future of Nintendo? I don't think anyone can say. Nintendo is so weird. Every console, they gotta have some weird-ass shit for the console. You know, I have no clue. I couldn't predict. I don't know what the G1 is, so I guess I'm not watching the G1. I don't know what that is. Where do I see the future of gaming going? Again, I certainly couldn't ever say, because I have no clue, because the bottom line is that gaming has been so zany over the years. In the 11 years I've done this, we went from zombie games to co-op kind of looter-shooter games and motion control, talking to your console, until that became, you know, not a thing anymore. And then it was fucking VR, and then it was stupid, you know, every fad. It's just fad after fad. I never know what the next fad's gonna fucking be, you know? I have no idea. Mabel to me $1 said, will I ever collab with a detractor? Do a live stream with Tevin. No, I told you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do Streamception one day. One day I'm gonna find out if he's streaming me. Alright. And while he's restreaming me, I'm gonna restream him. So we're gonna have Streamception. Two assholes just restreaming each other for a whole stream. The internet will go crazy. We'll break the fucking internet. We're doing it. I'm telling you, we're gonna do it one day. It's gonna be amazing. Have I bought Wolfenstein Youngblood yet? It's too late for me since my copies will arrive tomorrow, but I just saw a video showing it off a bit. They say it feels like Wolfen... Scroll out the screen. Nope, I didn't get it yet. I'm going to buy it later tonight. After all my streaming's done today, you know, and whatever I raise, I'm going to use those funds to buy the game tonight, so... Seen any good TV shows lately? Any tips? Man. Stranger Things 3 was the last one that I watched. I haven't seen anything since then. I just watch wrestling. Wrestling and Kat and I every once in a while. We were watching Alfred Hitchcock Presents the other night. And we listened to music, and that's about it. Crystal Laser says, play the great Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy VI. It's a new version of what you've already played. I think I played it. The problem is I don't think there's a way to stream it. Like, they never emulated that on any console. So I don't think that I could actually play that version. Okay. Have any detractors ever really upset me? Yes. Absolutely. But it's usually not the things you think. Like, the things that upset me are things that are like personal shit, personal attacks against myself or my wife or my family, things that happen behind the scenes that are actually concretely hurtful to us that have nothing to do with the streams. I wouldn't even mention that shit on stream because it would just promote more of it. But there's fucked up stuff that's happened to us behind the scenes because people have fucked with us. It's really messed up shit that you wouldn't even believe if I told you. You seriously wouldn't. So that's why I don't even bother with it. You know, all it would do is give them the attention they're seeking. But there's really fucked up things that people do to us, and it's messed up. It's disgusting stuff. Did I ever want to be a wrestler? Yeah, when I was a kid. Of course, when I was a kid and, you know, growing up watching wrestling, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. First, when I thought it was real, obviously. Even later on in life, when I didn't think it was real, I thought I fantasized about being the next Austin or whatever. Of course. DSB to homie tipped me $1 and said, if you guys did the Streamception thing, you guys might end up being friends at the end, maybe. The bottom line is, I don't really care about anyone doing that kind of shit. The problem is when they're constantly dragging me down, insulting me, and saying that people shouldn't check out my stuff. You know? Like, okay, every once in a while you want to give me shit. Fine. But when you do it every day, all day, to the point where people no longer watch my stuff and watch you and toss you the fucking money that I deserve for putting out the content. And you know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up. Like, it's hard for me now to even get new viewers because some asshole rebroadcasts me every fucking day. I don't mind getting jabbed at or made fun of every once in a while. You know, it's like, this is how you don't play is one thing, but when you literally do steal every day, that's different. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I actually feel that certain people who don't like me and use my content to get ahead for themselves actually would do better if they did their own shit. If they would just leave me the fuck alone and you could do their own stuff, that these are intelligent and creative enough people that they would be successful going out and doing their own stuff. But they don't want to do that. It's too hard to be creative and fun for yourself. You just have to use someone else's crap stuff and crap on it constantly to make your garbage toxic content instead of doing something productive or interesting for yourself. You know? Like, I couldn't sit here all day and rebroadcast someone else and just shit on them all day. Like, I couldn't. Of course, that's the easiest thing. That's the lowest common denominator of talent, is just making fun of someone. That's why I don't fucking do that. I'd rather do something positive and interesting. Don't I shit on video games all the time? No, I don't. That was always a misconception about me. People who don't pay attention to who I am and what I do used to think that my moniker, the King of Hate, meant that I just crap on video games. I hate on video games constantly. That was never the case. I was always a guy who gave games a fair shake. Yeah, if they deserved it, I shat all over them. But at the same time, I also love a bunch of games that I play, you know? It was never about that. That was never my thing. That was always a misconception that idiots spread across the internet who didn't take 5 seconds of research to figure out what the name actually meant. All right, chance for just a couple more questions, guys, before I adjourn. Not these stupid questions. I'm certainly not answering these. Perfect Picasso asks, what are my top 5 fighting game series? And where would I put Virtua Fighter? Top 5, Street Fighter number 1. I would say probably... weighing and balancing all factors, probably Tekken number 2. All right. Then I would probably say a tie for either the King of Fighters series or NetherRealm games at 3rd. And then honestly everything else, because I've never really got cared or got very good at any of the other games that were out there. I know there's tons more, like you said, Virtua Fighters. I never really played those, so I can't rank those because that wouldn't be fair. I can't comment on what's the competitive nature of Virtua Fighter when I never played it on a competitive level. I just mashed buttons in the arcade, right, when I was a kid. So that would be my answer to that question. Crystal Laser gave me 100-bit cheers. If I offered a Game Boy player and a GameCube for you, would you be open to Game Boy games? I know more than just me would like to see games like Golden Sun. Well, I have a Wii that has the GameCube emulator in it. If I put GameCube discs in it, it'll play it. But I don't know what you mean by Game Boy player and a GameCube. Are you saying that if you actually have the GameCube console, there's a Game Boy player for it, and that you can play Game Boy games on it? How would I capture? Can you rip video straight from the GameCube? Is there a way to do that? Like, I had to buy an adapter to do it on the Wii. Can you do it from the GameCube? Because I'm not aware of that. Snorlax says, Cat and I should check out the Funko HQ in Everett, Washington. You can make Funko Pops of yourselves. Oh my god. Maybe one day we will if we ever really bored and we want to go do something, but neither of us own a Funko Pop, so we're not like fans of that. Nope, we're never doing a tour of the home. Those days are over. I know I used to do that shit all the time, but nope, never gonna happen again. No Home Front the Revolution is not the worst game I've ever played. That was hyperbole. right, guys. As you can see, I'm starting to get tired. As you can see, I think we're winding down. I want to say thanks to everyone who hung out here on stream with me for Ask the King. Thanks to everyone who watched on YouTube. Thanks to everyone who contributed. I think we're going to adjourn Ask the King. Reminder, the next episode's in 2 months, at the end of September. You can post up the questions over on the King of Hate forums right now. If you pledge to my Patreon $20 or more, you can get your question answered for sure on the next show. Thank you to everyone very much for another great episode. I'll see you for episode 78, end of September. All right, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you later.